Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And y'all know I got my favorite reoccurring guest, my favorite Louisville fan, Reggie Brown in the building. And we got to catch up on some Louisville stuff. Reggie, what's the temperature like with the Louisville Cardinals right now, bro?
It's hot. Arguing with each other. I heard this morning on the radio, one of the fans, it's loud right now, bro. One of the fans, basically not threatening one of the radio's son, but basically saying something about his daughter or son or something. And I'm like, wow. It's getting crazy over in Coronation Land, man.
Hey, man, y'all looking wilder than Kentucky fans right now, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Threatening someone's child, man. Right now, to me, that's automatic ass whooping.
Yeah. Man, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was I actually was in the building in the Yum Center for the very first time ever for the Louisville, North Carolina game. But you know what surprised me? It seemed like it was almost as much North Carolina fans in the building as it was Louisville fans, man. And there was a lot of empty seats.
It's been like that. A lot of Louisville fans hop up the band with the
Damn, you cutting out real bad, man. I can't hear. You sound like a bot, man.
Giving up their tickets, I just don't understand. I understand we historically bad, but you don't support your team when they bad. If you can support them when they good, you got to support them. Hold on, I'm over by the airport.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was real. A little bit, man, but I didn't get none of that. What you were saying.
I said most of the fans that gave up year one on Kenny Payne, man. They ready for him to be fired, and I just don't get it. You know, you're supposed to support your team, especially if you love this team. You're supposed to support them through thick and thin, not when they just win.
Right.
So a lot of fans that gave up their tickets and basically they say they're not even gonna sell their tickets. They're just not gonna go to the games just to hurt the University of Louisville because of Kenny Payne.
Man, that's crazy, man. One thing I gotta give y'all some props on, man. I didn't actually know that the Yum Center was actually that nice. It's actually decent as hell, and it kind of made me a little mad because I said, "Damn, man, Kentucky got to catch up, man, because this shit is crazy." Because the Yum Center is kind of on NBA level, and we a little bit behind, but
it's nice.
Yeah, man, and it's actually old now, ain't it? Ain't it like 10 years old or something?
About 10 years. Yeah, I think they built it. I want to say 2010, 11. I want to say 11. It's the first year they played it. No. The last year we played Syracuse and Freedom Hall. I think their last game was in 2009. So they built it in 2010. So it was open for business in 2010.
Yeah. It's nice though, man. But yeah, like I said, that was really disappointing for me to see so many empty seats. Now, one thing that I will say, the people that came to the game, they seem to be into it. They seem to be trying to cheer Louisville on. And Louisville was actually hanging with North Carolina. And I'm gonna tell you what, in my opinion, what tipped the game for them. Whenever Ellis shot that 3-pointer and he barely kicked his leg out, and I thought it was gonna be a 3-point play. Well, I guess it would have been a 4-point play. And they ended up calling him for an offensive foul. And then it just seemed like after that, Louisville just fell apart, man. But the fans was definitely
that's what happens. They instantly give up after a bad play happens. They instantly it's like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah. And then it just seemed like after that, North Carolina was just doing what they wanted to with him. And the worst part about it was North Carolina had a couple of dudes. I think Baycott was one of them. He was in foul trouble early in the game. So it really set up for Louisville to really do something special and knock them off, man, because I think they had Baycott, if I remember correctly. I think he had 4 fouls, like, with over 10 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, he did. He got his fourth foul early. I want to say about 10. I used to say about 10, about 12 minutes more. I think he got his fourth foul in 12 minutes.
Yeah, man.
And
But
they just after that call he was talking about, it's like the energy just let out of.
yeah,
You know, they stopped playing hard, and I can't say that's something that Kenny Payne's gonna have to address because it got to be easy to not give up. You got to want it as a player. I played basketball. I played basketball on the West, so I played high school ball. I was a football dad, but I still played basketball, and I know basketball. You can't teach hard. You can't. It got to be easy. If your heart pump Kool-Aid, your heart pump Kool-Aid. It is what it is.
yeah.
But the heart got to be in you.
And that's some of the things that Kentucky was struggling with a little bit. I felt like they was just moping around on the court a little bit, not really playing hard. They wasn't playing aggressive. And when I was actually in the stands at the Yum Center, I was sitting in front of a North Carolina fan that was screaming the whole entire game. And every time Ellis had the ball, he kept going, he gonna shoot it, he ain't never gonna pass. Do you think Ellis shoots too much, or do you think that he's just the only one that just plays aggressive? Like, what you feel about his game?
I feel like he's the only one that's out there playing aggressive. And he does take some shots sometimes when people's open that he pass the ball, so the guy wide open. He does take some stupid shots.
Oh, you cut out a little bit at the end.
I said, he does take some stupid shots sometimes. He takes some stupid shots. I agree with that. But when you're the only guy that can put it in the bucket, I mean, what can you do at that point?
Yeah.
When you physically the only guy that can put it in the bucket that can go get a bucket, he basically need him. He basically.
Yeah. I actually.
If he has an off night, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually. The couple of times I done watched him play this year, he seems like one of the ones that could probably. He pretty much could probably do something close to what he does against any level of competition. Like he seems like decently consistent. But he just don't really got enough out there with him. Or like you said, maybe they just not playing hard enough. Do you think they gave up on the season, or like do you think they just ready to get it over with?
I think they're ready to get it over with. It's basically some of the same players that quit on the coach last year quit. And that's why Matt quit. Because the players quit. By the end of the season, by the middle of the season, when Louisville went on like a 10-game, they went on a 15-game losing streak. They was done. You can look in the person's eyes and know when they done. And I'm looking in their eyes now. It's like they play a good 4 to 5 minute stretch of good ball, and then one thing happens that don't go their way, it's over. It's done. They done.
Yeah,
they done. And I do. Here's one thing. I'm not going to blame Kenny for not having the players now. What I will blame him for, he had faith in those players. He feel like he had the roster that would, at least win at least about 15. Might not make the tournament. I had faith in them where I was like, okay, they don't have that fire in them. They played bad last year. They're gonna try to rebound this year. So, like you said, before the season, I told you, I thought they could make the tournament.
Yeah. Well,
but with Kenny him not bringing in another guard to be able to help Ellis out, that's basically how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
But when you got an FBI situation hanging over a cloud hanging over your head, and that's what people don't fail to realize. Like, I try to explain it in hood terms, because like if you in the streets and you get in trouble and you on probation, you can't get in no more trouble while you doing that probation. Because if you do, you go to jail, right?
Right.
So Louisville basically was on probation for strippers, and then got in trouble for the FBI.
Right.
So at the point when they didn't know what was going to happen, they thought they were going to get death penalty. So kids was like, no, we love Louisville. My brother is cool with P.J. Washington, y'all former player. P.J. flies him out the games. Matter of fact, he's going to Atlanta this weekend to watch P.J. play the Hawks. I'm talking about, I'll pull up. I'm on my way to work now. I'll pull up on my brother at work. He can FaceTime P.J. and P.J. don't pick up. P.J. will tell you, and P.J. tells him, the kids want to go there. They don't know. They didn't know at that time what the situation was going to be. Now that the cloud is behind us, give this man a full time to recruit. Because when people fail to realize, oh, he's supposed to be a high level recruiter. Kenny was in the NBA for 4 years.
Right.
He went to the NBA.
Yeah.
So most of these kids in the 2023 class, he's not gonna know. They're not gonna know him because he wasn't on the trail recruiting him.
Right.
You don't recruit in the NBA. You scout, but you don't recruit.
Right.
So like I said, I was just like, man, give this man a full recruiting cycle. Time to hit the transfer portal without the cloud. Now everything's gone. Now I'm putting the pressure. Now this is when I say, okay, you need to put a better team that can put a better effort out there on the court.
Right. Now let me ask you this. Do you think that's going to have to be the main focus is the transfer portal? Like, is there anybody left in 2023 that they could grab that could be like a contributor, or do they got to go straight transfer portal?
I don't think there's anybody left that they can go out there and grab true rides. We already have 2 true recruits, Caleb Glenn and Curtis Williams. They forwards though. So this year you just don't have to hit the transfer portal hard. See what you got coming back, because you probably don't have Fabio coming back, Devin Reed, Mike James, Kamari Lands, probably Brandon Huntley Hatfield. He's probably going to come back. Ellis has a COVID year, but will he want to come back and deal with another year of college, or will he want to go overseas? We don't know. I know Sidney Terry has another COVID year, but I'm done with him. I'm done with him, bro. Like, just you got JJ Trainer. I think he'll be back. So you need to go get you a couple. You need to go 2 guards, maybe 3 guards, and possibly another center or power forward.
Let me ask you this question, because I'm pretty sure this is going to start happening at some point. Do you think that they should just throw some NIL money at somebody that has a starting guard? Like, instead of waiting on the transfer portal and waiting for kids to decide they want to leave, do you think they should start recruiting players from other teams now, like starters?
I think they should. Now, one name that popped up was Sky Clark. Sky Clark went to Illinois. He left the program early.
Yeah.
And that could be a good guy. You can go start selling. Look, now with the product that we had on the floor this year, we 2 in 18?
Yeah.
2 in 17? You can go all spots is open.
Right. Shit, we actually needed Sky Clark this year.
We should have had Sky Clark this year. But Sky Clark wanted Kenny to guarantee him that they was going to play in the tournament. And at that time, he couldn't. At that time, we didn't know the decision on the NCAA. And he just couldn't. Kenny's that type. He's not going to guarantee something he can't promise. If he'd guarantee Tyrese Hunter and all those kids, hey, we're going to make the tournament, nothing's going to happen. If he could see the future and knew that, you got to make a kid believe you too. Believe in you. Kids do believe in him. People believe in him. I believe him. But what he inherited was not what Chris Mack inherited. Chris Mack inherited a Final Four team.
Right.
That Rick built. What Rick built. Payne didn't inherit it. I'm just going to be honest. Everybody keeps saying, just a couple years ago, we was number 1 playing Michigan. We was number 1 for a week. The stadium was packed. We was playing Michigan. But look at the players who was on that team. Yeah, David Johnson, Jordan Noor, who's plays for the Bucks right now, Stephen Enoch, who's overseas. You had Dwayne Sutton, Malik Williams. You had nice players on that team. So for people to say there's talent, yes. there is talent on this team, but talent doesn't always result into wins.
Right.
People say they don't like recruits until they can be, he's a number one player. He got to come and play college basketball to see if he's a dude. Louisville don't have dudes. We have one dude, Withers, who's been on the team and has declined every year, bro. It's his match recruit. He has declined every year. So I'm tired of that talent BS. Like, it is talent on this team. Yes, there is a little bit of talent on this team. Not enough talent to result in wins.
Yeah. Do you see them winning any more games this season? Is it gonna be tough for them? How many they gonna get?
I'll be lucky we win 3 games.
Man,
I just don't. I think they done packed it up. I think they done packed it in, man. And what needs to happen? This season needs to come to an end. We still have 2 months left. We still got to play Duke. We still got to play Virginia twice. Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, the Boston College, who you thought would be easy wins, are now not considered easy wins.
Yeah, Boston College really should have beat Duke, honestly.
Who?
Boston College should have beat Duke, honestly.
And you see, in Boston College, they playing in games with tough teams. So, I just think the season needs to be over. They need to get away from some of the kids who stay here who will be back. Needs to get away from Louisville. Do not get on Twitter. They don't need to get on Twitter. Nolan Smith needs to stay off Twitter because they ain't doing nothing but bashing it. And I don't understand how you can want to coach down after year 1. Like, we already a laughing stock. So you want to be more of a laughing stock than a coach goes after year 1. Because if they was a fire Kenny Payne after year 1, you know how many people's going to say you didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah.
Look at Georgetown.
Kentucky fans are definitely going to say that.
Georgetown, even though Patrick Ewing is losing, they gave him that chance to try to build a program. Fans ain't trying to give Kenny a chance. They want him fired. They want him fired 10 games ago.
Well, let me ask you this question. If he doesn't improve drastically, which obviously he probably will, right? It'd be hard to have 2 seasons like this back to back. But for some reason, let's just say that he doesn't improve the season and they have another season. Let's say they only win like 6 games, right? Do you think he should be fired at that point?
It's going to be tough. I think it should be. I think it's going to be considered. I say this at least give him 3 years at the most. I always do it, though. I did it with Matt. I said, Matt, his first year is a wash. Whatever coach we did, I always give him a wash their first year because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you got to make changes and everything like that.
You got to make changes. The roster's going to turn over. But now in college basketball with the transfer portal, you can flip a roster so fast and win. Year 2, if he wins 6 games, it might be looking ugly. It might look ugly. But I think Josh Hurd is stuck. Josh Hurd, he said he's gonna stick with his guns. He believes in Kenny. And I think he's gonna give him enough time. It's coming. It's coming. I know some of the parents. I'm not to say some. I know some people who's on the recruiting trail. Like I said, my brother true with PJ. He knows some guys. It's coming. I just need one kid to say, "Hey, we believe in Kenny Payne. We're gonna make this coaching." And I think that one kid is gonna be part of the Black Brian.
Oh yeah,
I do.
That's what's up. So what would you feel comfortable saying would be a success for next season?
A success for next season? If he don't win, if he don't win at least 5 games this season, shit. If he wins 20 games next year, they don't celebrate like we won a championship. We're gonna be on Broadway. My posse's on Broadway.
But like you said, though, with the turnover, man, with the transfer portal, it's possible.
It is possible.
Yeah, man. You can.
It's very possible, and I believe he can get out there and get the players. You know, it's I don't say it's all new for him, but like you said, when you make that NBA, when you go to the NBA for a couple years and then you come back, something changed since Kenny left.
Yeah.
When Kenny left, we didn't have the transfer portal. So I think he's gonna flip the roster. I think next year will be a lot better, a lot more, way more competitive.
Yeah, for sure. You know, with me, I kind of feel like the same way as you, right? Like I feel like you do got to give the coach a few years to get his feet wet. Unless you get a situation like Calipari, where Calipari brought in 2 or 3 top recruits. He added a couple more to Kentucky. So that was a little different situation because he came in ready and locked and loaded. And obviously Kenny has not. But
Cal came from Memphis. He came from another college. So
right, exactly. And he had basically established the relationships with the kids, and he was going to have the number 1 class at Memphis. And then
Memphis, yeah.
I think
if he stayed at Memphis, he would have had John Wall and Cousins them there.
Yeah, and Xavier Henry was there with him too. So he would have been ready.
Like I was saying, my brother talks to PJ Washington. He be telling me, man, kids will be stupid not to go listen to Kenny. He said, man, he'll tell you, Kenny's the one. He said, Cal just came and closed the deal. Kenny's out there doing them numbers with us, at our games, in there with our family. When it's time for us to sign, then Cal will come. He said, but Kenny was the one in practice, getting. He said, man, Kenny got me ready for the NBA.
Right.
I shit you not, man. I shit you not, but people just got to give the man time.
So let me ask you that question then, because Kenny was an assistant at that time. How do you feel about the assistants that y'all got right now? Like, do you like all of them? Do you feel like some of them maybe should be maybe their position should be considered for other people? Like, how do you grade them?
I know Nolan's been doing good. Nolan's been out on the recruiting trail talking to kids, and Danny Manning, they've been out there. It's just to get a kid to commit. You gotta get that first kid to say, I'm gonna be the one to change Louisville. You gotta get them to believe in your coaching and believe in what you're doing in Louisville. The first thing I say we need to do is get the fuck away from Adidas. Everybody keep talking about the contract with Adidas. We have a big contract with Adidas, but Adidas is the one that put us. Adidas rep is the one who got us in trouble with the FBI. That right there should be enough for, hey, let's terminate this contract. Because I'm telling you right now, Nike and Jordan, they will take Louisville.
Yeah.
Nike most definitely will take Louisville because Phil Knight, and, he's real good friends with Kenny.
Yeah, I believe that for sure.
And some kid, and a guy on Twitter that I follow, a recruiting guy, said that out of the top 100, only 6 kids has committed to Adidas student.
I mean, if you really think about it, most of the top recruits play EYBL.
EYBL, yeah.
You might have some sprinkled in the top 50 that might do like the Adidas or the Under Armour joints, but majority of them do play EYBL though.
And right, with Nike.
Yeah.
And you know what Nike does? Nike's gonna send you all the Nikes, the Nike bag, Nike socks, Nike wristbands, the Nike headbands. Man, don't nobody want to wear Adidas. Don't nobody want to wear Adidas, man. Now, Donovan Mitchell got some nice shoes, and James Harden got some nice shoes, but that's it. When you with Nike, like you look at y'all wear LeBrons.
Right.
You can wear LeBrons.
We got some of the Kyrie. Yeah, we had the Kyries though.
Yeah, Kyrie. Now John Morant's going with Nike. He's gonna have his signature. Greek Freak, his shoes is nice and they comfortable to hoop in.
I actually got a pair of his joints.
Hey,
and they wasn't even expensive because I didn't want to go out and buy no expensive basketball shoes, so I went and found them for like $80. I said, "Shit, let me see what they were talking about." And I actually liked them.
Colors too. He got some nice colors.
Yeah. His joints is all right. Speaking of, But speaking of that, since you was bringing up the Adidas stuff, I want to ask, and you also said something about culture, right? Do you think that coaches need to just get away from the whole idea of culture and just start talking about the money? Like, do they?
Kenny, you need to,
Because I know it was
culture.
it was a few coaches out there. Like, I think Kenny might have been one of them. Nebraska's football coach was another one,
Mark,
and they was talking about we want kids that want to come and be a part of the tradition and all. I just think kids don't give a fuck about that no more.
They don't give a fuck. Now that they're able to be paid, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Open that checkbook up.
And
Here,
I think it applies to Kentucky as well. Like, I think the days of kids growing up and being like, man, I just want to play for Big Blue Nation or whatever. Now, me being from Lexington, of course, that would apply to me and some of the other kids from the surrounding areas. But the average kid that's not born and raised in this environment probably don't really care that much. They just want to play where they got the best opportunity to play, make the most money, and potentially go to the pros. So I kind of feel like the days of talking culture to these kids is over with.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, they at this point, it's like, how much can you pay me? Who can put out the more money to get me? And that's how it is in the NBA.
Yeah,
that's how it is in the NBA. And I told my wife, my wife laughed at me. She's like, "You hate Kentucky." She said, "But if my son, he plays football. He's young though. He's 7. Plays basketball too." She said, "If he was a high recruit, Kentucky was recruiting him, would you send him around?" I said, "John Taylor Frazier, yeah, I send him around. I know in that year he's gonna have my son get ready to get drafted. If my son is that,
yeah,
that's one thing I say about y'all. He do get the kids drafted.
He do.
And everybody say they can go somewhere else and get drafted. Yeah, they can.
But his kids get the second contracts that be like 150.
150, but that exposure that Kentucky basketball has.
Yeah, he get the little the draft combine for him and all that type of stuff.
Draft combine, yeah. You have all the NBA scouts come there and scout just your players, tell them what they need to work on. Yeah, man. But they just need to give Kenny time. Just need to give him time.
Yeah.
But when this ship get right, all them fans who I don't want because what's that saying? If you wasn't with me when I was down, don't be with me when I'm up.
Right. Well,
started from the bottom. Look, started from the bottom. Now we here.
Well, Kentucky fans been going through a little bit of that too this year, man. It's been a rough year for us too. We ain't been. We just been having a whole lot of inconsistencies. We've been on an emotional roller coaster, man. 1 minute we want Cal fired, the next minute we love Cal again. We don't like Wheeler right now. We was mad at Oscar, and then Oscar went crazy. We love Oscar again. Shit's been wild. This whole basketball season been kind of crazy for everybody, except unfortunately Kansas is doing all right.
Kansas doing all right.
They almost got. Yeah, we got Kansas. They almost got busted the other night, man, but they pulled it out. So that's probably the only team that was good last year that's consistently like transitioned over to this season. Everybody else been struggling, man.
Everybody, Duke, Kentucky, Carolina, Michigan's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, this tournament is wide open this year. Like,
yeah,
when I do my bracket, I ain't gonna know who to pick to win.
Man, and now I got to start paying attention to some other teams that I never ever cared about, like Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I never cared about watching Houston hoop. It's a lot of them, man. That I'm like, it shocks me still that they even ranked like where they ranked. But like
Purdue right now, I tell you, Purdue right now, they look like the head-on-head favorite. But you get in that tournament, you can lose to anybody.
Oh, trust me, we know that.
Yeah, you didn't lose to anybody, but Purdue looks tough. They got a big guy, like 7'3". He's just a man down there.
Yeah, and that's what I would actually hate for us to run into some teams with some legitimate size, because that's where we struggle at. Like, Oscar kind of struggles against the real tall dudes, so that's one thing I would hate to see is us run into some team with some real deal height, man. But we still got to win some more games to get off this bubble, because right now it's still a mystery of how our season's going to end too. So
I think y'all be straight, man. Cal have y'all right. I better hope he don't go to Texas though.
Hey, man.
Because don't get me wrong, UK got the bag. Texas got that oil money.
Yeah, for sure.
They got that.
Like I said, man, shit, I thought at that time, if that offer was real, shit, I thought he should have went on and took it because at that time it was looking real bad for him at Kentucky, and he ain't gonna get no 11 million at Kentucky. And
And
then
think about it. At Texas, they are football. So if you just go to the Sweet 16, Elite 8 with them, make the tournament every year, they ain't no ass for your head.
yeah, they never had a coach that actually won the championship at that school ever.
Right.
So he would be the
let him go
first.
there and win one title.
He would be the first one that's even ever won one somewhere else that actually been on campus.
Yeah. So let him go there because if he leaves Kentucky, a recruiting class is going with him.
Yeah, and I was talking damn, I don't know what happened. My shit done went out of focus. But I was actually telling my dad. I said, man, shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Reed Shepherd left too. Shit.
Yeah.
I said that might be the only one we could count on, but damn, I couldn't even write it off for real.
Reed's tough. A lot of people don't give him a lot of credit, but
yeah, I think so too, man.
Reed's tough.
Yeah, like I seen Reed play against some stellar competition. I seen Reed play against some good competition and stand up. So I think Reed, all right.
Yeah, Reed's tough. Again, that's why I be telling people when I be on Twitter, and they be saying, "Are you hating on Reed?" I say, I just don't see because you have DJ, Rob, and
Edwards,
and Justin Edwards. So how many minutes is Reed really gonna get?
probably like 10, maybe 12.
But to me, I think he deserves 15 to 18 minutes.
Yeah.
He can be that starter.
Yeah.
So it just depends. Cal needs to make sure that boy gets some nice minutes.
Yeah. Fortunately for him, he does look like a pretty consistent jump shooter, so that might help him, man. Like he might have a little CJ Frederick role that he might could fill. So we'll see, man. But anyways, man, as always, nice talking to you, brother. Keeping me updated with Louisville and everything like that, man. I'm sure we'll get back at it once or twice more for the season's over with. But yeah, man, thank you for coming on, brother, and we'll do it again soon.
Man, thank you for having me, bro. I love your podcast, brother.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing your thing, man.
Yes, sir, man. Talk to you later.
All right, buddy.